A wellness brand founder came to me recently and she said, Sandra, we're doing $3 million a year in revenue and I have no idea where the money's going. Now, she wasn't broke, sales were good, but every month somehow just felt like a treadmill. More sales, more ad spend, more revenue, and somehow thinner margins every quarter. So I did what I always do. I asked for access to everything, her email marketing platform, her ad account, her Shopify backend, her P&L. And what I found was honestly hard to look at. And not because the business was bad. The business is good. The business is making money. The problem is that the business was leaking money in places nobody was watching. Now, if you are an e-com brand in the wellness, longevity, biohacking, and health space, you're probably leaking money from the same places. So let me show you what that means. So I'm going to call this founder Leah. Not her real name, but nice to kiss and tell. Now, Leah built a company of $3 million a year. It is a clean skincare brand. The cool thing is that she bootstraps. So she mostly built her company with paid partnerships with influencers and social media content. She has a small team of 6, so really good start there. Before I looked at her dashboard, I asked Leah for 3 numbers, just 3. Number 1, what percentage from your revenue comes directly from email marketing? And she said, think about 15. It was actually 11. Number 2, what is your repeat purchase rate? To which she said, honestly, I don't know. I see this a lot. It was 19%. Now, for a skincare brand, a brand that relies on repeat purchases, that number should be 35 to 50 at the very least. And number 3, what is your customer lifetime value? She guessed $95. It was actually $67. Now, when a founder can't tell me these numbers or guesses wrong by that much, I already know what I'm going to find, which is the business is not broken, it's just flying blind. And flying blind at $3 million a year is pretty expensive. So I did one of my favorite things to do, which is open up her email marketing platform. I will die, by the way, on an email marketing hill. Email marketing is one of the best ways to generate revenue in your business, especially repeat revenue. It is one of the best ways or biggest bangs for a buck when it comes to spending money in marketing. When I'm seeing a business flying blind like this, one of the easiest ways to capture revenue and really see the numbers and see what's going on is to open up the email marketing platform and see what that looks like. Now, she was paying about $900 a month for her email marketing platform. And this is what was going on. It might look a little bit similar because I see this quite a little bit. So there's one welcome flow. It was pretty generic. It had 2 emails. They were set up a couple of years ago. They haven't been touched. They haven't been optimized. They haven't been really taken care of. There's one abandoned cart flow. One email that said, hey, Sandra, you forgot something in your cart from Leah's brand. You should have a lot more than that. There's a weekly newsletter that was blasted to her entire list, which was about 45,000 subscribers with 0 segmentation. And that was it. There is no browse abandonment, no post-purchase, no win-back sequence, no, hey, replenish your products that you bought 8 weeks ago, which, by the way, should be in every single skincare brand's email sequences. This is what I see in pretty much every brand that comes to me that says, we're making revenue, but we're spending too much money on acquisition and we're not making the profit margins that we want. Which is the email marketing is technically on, but it's like having a car in the driveway with the engine on and like there's no one behind the wheel to drive it. It's burning gas and going nowhere. So here's some math that should scare you a little bit, maybe a lot. With 45,000 subscribers, a brand like this, an e-com brand in the skincare niche, should generate about 30 to 35% of their revenue from email marketing. When I was auditing Leah's brand, it was doing 11%. That's a third of what it should be performing. So when you're looking at the real gap, that's about $500,000 in lost revenue. Now, this was revenue she wasn't collecting, not because she didn't have the audience, because she had the audience. She had 45,000 subscribers on her list, but nobody built the machine to monetize it. Now, let's talk a little bit about her ads. Leah was spending about $35,000 on ads on Meta, so Instagram and Facebook. That's pretty normal for a business her size. Now, the return on ad spend, so her ROAS, looked pretty decent on the front end. It was about 2.5x. Now, I come from the world of e-commerce where I would put in $1 and get about 10 to 12x. It was many, many years ago, and there was a world that existed like that now. That doesn't look like that anymore. So when someone tells you and promises a world that you can do 5x, 6x, 8x, little bit of a lie. There are different exceptions, of course, but for a skincare brand especially that relies heavily on repeat purchases and people repurchasing their creams and their serums and their products, a skincare brand making 2.5x ROAS, it's to be expected. The problem is when I pull her real customer acquisition cost, which doesn't include just the ads. It includes agency fees, creative production, it includes tools, returns. The first purchase margin was basically zero. This means she was breaking even on every single new customer that she worked on bringing to her brand. Now, that is okay if you have a proper backend that turns every new customer into a repeat buyer. That is how you make money in the skincare and the wellness industry. Leah didn't. There's no post-purchase education emails. There's no replenishing reminder. Customer buys once, they get a shipping confirmation, and then silence until the next newsletter blast. So Leah was basically spending $35,000 a month to fill a bucket with a hole in it. And the frustrating part is that the hole was 100% fixable. It's not like customers didn't like the product. They loved the product. They just forgot about it because nobody reminded them. Then I looked at her tool stack, and this is the part that drove me nuts, and everything fell apart. She had one platform for email marketing at $900 a month, and then another platform for SMS sending for $200 a month, and a pop-up tool for her sign-up forms for $49 a month. That is 4 tools, 4 dashboards, 4 invoices, and over $1,200 a month for a leaky bucket, for some tools that they even talk to each other properly. The email platform she was using couldn't trigger an SMS based on behavior. And her pop-up tool was collecting emails, but somehow the ESP was like 24 hours delay, which meant her welcome flow was firing a full day too late. So that means the first impression is pretty much blown. And that means when someone is signing up for your newsletter, for getting product information from you or just company information from you, as they are shopping around for a new brand to try, if you're not sending them an email to talk to them, you lost them. It's not uncommon, and this is pretty much what happens when you're trying to build your marketing stack one single tool at a time over the course of a few years without anybody looking at it. Now, every tool works fine on its own. I'm not bashing these tools. They work fine on their own. The problem is they weren't working together and they were extremely expensive. So we made a decision together. She had 2 choices. The one choice was, let's try to duct tape everything together and try to fix that leaky bucket with some duct tape. Or let's just kind of scrape it off, get a new bucket, and rebuild everything right. Leah chose to rebuild. Great choice. So that's when we moved everything to OmniSend, which provides one platform for email, SMS, push notifications, all in one place. And the migration only took 5 days, by the way. That's it. We fixed a very broken, very damaged bucket in 5 single days. Now, Leah's been dreading this for months and months, and like many founders that I meet, she thought that this is going to take a lot of time. But the nice thing was that it took 5 days because OmniSend actually handled all the migration. So all the contacts, all the segments, sign-up forms, all was migrated and nothing was lost. Success. And then we built what should have existed from day one. Number 1 was a proper welcome flow, a properly segmented welcome flow broken down into 4 emails that talk about the brand, about a product, about a founder's vision, showing testimonials and other people's experiences. A 3-email abandon cart. And by the way, the abandon cart, you can have a lot more emails. This was just a start, but 3 would be the minimum that I always recommend to start for your e-com brand. And then we built the browse abandonment flow, which is a flow she never had before. And then we built a 6 email sequence for post-purchase that educates, cross-sells, and triggers replenishment reminders, which is critical in the skincare industry. And then we did a win back for lapsed customers. Now, because her tool, by the way, only had SMS to the United States, for the first time, she can now reach her UK customers, her Canadian customers, her Australian customers, and she could also expand into other countries with SMS marketing. Because there are no more international fees, it was just included. Emails were being sent properly and timely. So 4 tools became 1. And here is my favorite part. No, actually, I think this was Leah's favorite part. $1,200 turned into just over $700 something per month. It was like $750. And the platform could do things that she never could before. Why? Because everything was now connected and communicated with each other. So here's what happened over the next 90 days. Transformation. Email marketing revenue as a percentage total went from 11% to 31%. Repeat purchase rate from 19% to 34%. Now, this is the big one. Why? Because again, when you are in the cosmetics, skincare, wellness industry, it's very hard to be profitable on the front end. You need to have a machine built for people to order from you over and over again. That's how you build a loyal customer base. That's how you increase your average order value. That's how you increase your lifetime value of every customer that you acquire. Now, her customer lifetime value went from $67 to $112. Her abandon recovery rate went from 3.2% to about 12%. So she recovered 4 times more customers than she did before. Her monthly tool cost went down from about $1,200 to just over $700. And all of this was done without spending more on ads. She just built a machine that turns the first-time buyers into repeat buyers. And the business went from feeling like a treadmill to feeling like a flywheel. Now that's the difference between a brand that's growing and a brand that's scaling. Growth is more. Scaling is growth and better. Now, I didn't tell you the story because Leah's special. She's a great person. I told you because Leah's problems are most likely your problems too. I audit dozens of e-com brands in the wellness and skincare and longevity and biohacking space. And almost always I'm finding the same types of leaks, the same broken buckets, the same problems that can be fixed quite easily. That's usually the email program that's fine, but it's not really building revenue or it's not bringing in as big of a chunk of revenue as it should. Ads are technically doing the job, but when you're looking at a fine print and you're looking a little bit deeper, they're not actually bringing you profitability, and retention is almost non-existent because nobody built the system. There's a tool stack, but there's no system. There's no machine. So if you counted 1 or 2 or more of these problems that can apply to your business, it's common, it's messy, but messy is fixable. So if you'd like to see what I find in your brand, drop a comment below. I'm more than happy to have a look and see if there's any leaks that we can find and then we can fix. And if the email marketing platform resonated with you, I recommend OmniSend. I use it for myself. I use it for my clients. And this is what I would recommend if you're paying way too much for email marketing right now and email marketing is not bringing you the money that it should be bringing or the profitability that you want, and you feel like you need a little bit of an email marketing refresh. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.